And we are live.
Hey.
All right. Got to get the stream set up on my second monitor on the computer.
Do it up. Do it up.
All right, there we go. So yeah, dude. Yeah, Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn. Yeah, let's go over this series. I honestly, I think this was a great series, and probably the best piece of Harley media in a while. Besides the DC Black series, that was pretty good. That really good actually. But I think this is a really great use of modern Harley, and we're gonna break this down for you guys tonight. Hopefully, get some people to go watch it because the next season is dropping next month, I believe.
So, ooh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, first off, we were kind of talking before the show. We were trying to keep it Harley related, get ourselves pumped, but not on the show. Kind of just crop dusting the Harley talk, if you will. What's up, Shinobi? He says hi. It's been a bit.
Hey, what's up, Shinobi? How you are?
But yeah. So right off the bat, we got to give our thoughts. Mine, like I said, now I can go actually into it. But basically, episode 1, pretty good. But the first few episodes had those cringy moments where I was kind of the definitely touch on the wokeness. I think it was episode 3 or 4, the one where they brought in the Queen of Fables.
I kind of like the Queen of Fables.
I do too. I do too. But I'm saying when the whole glass ceiling talk and whatnot.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm digging up. I'm just pulling up the entire series so I could look at them.
Gotcha.
And look at it episode by episode so I can get my
not a problem.
Correct.
But
all right.
But you know how they're talking about the glass ceiling and so on and so forth. But what I find funny is I was eye rolling seeing that talk, right?
Well, I'm sorry. Continue your thought.
Yeah, rolling my eyes at it, and I'm like, oh god, it's gonna be one of them. But I pushed through, and I was like, wait a second. And I noticed the series is the most meta thing ever in this aspect. It is both woke and unwoke.
Yes.
It is both woke and makes fun of wokeness at the same time.
And that is what makes it such a great series. I mean, even something to spoiler, Poison Ivy believes in gun rights. Poison Ivy is a Second Amendment user. You know what I mean? That's all. And this is the same woman that considers herself an eco-terrorist.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it's absolutely just a phenomenal, self-aware parody.
It really is. Now, part of what makes it work is they didn't go like the comics have been doing and things like that, where they go full Deadpool.
Oh no, not at all. This is not Deadpool Harley. This is a great Harley.
This is classic Harley. Kind of crazy. You see the cracks in the mirror, but all in all, and one of the best things to describe everyone that's in the main cast, right off the bat, I gotta say this, dude. I have to. I'm rooting for Kite V. I'm so rooting for Kite V.
Oh, I love Kite Man. I like Kite V. It's one of my favorite aspects of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
because they're so good for each other, dude.
They really are. They really work well. I really loved how, Kite Man kind of put her in her place, and humbled her. For in the end, Kite Man saved the fucking day.
Right?
Having him as a boyfriend literally saved her life.
Right? I mean, Kite Man actually cares about her because Kite Man literally was living at her gravesite.
Well,
spoilers, we should have warned you.
He was the first one to cry when she died. By the way, spoilers, we're going to talk about the whole series.
Yeah, no, this is Cliff Notes. Where you're gonna want to have to leave this and see this, or stick around here and then leave going, man, what the fuck was this? I need to see this now. Oh yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
But
So yeah, I mean, it was one of those things. You know, he was the first one to cry when she dies. He was there from her from the bear. I mean, just God, the whole hell yeah. And I'm like,
mm-hmm.
yes, yes,
It's because he's a
yes,
total douche, and like you could tell he tries too hard. That's why he comes across as a douche.
yeah.
But all the main characters, except for like Doctor Psycho and the crazy old spy, they're like predominantly they're bad guys, but they're good people, as Ivy said about Harley. That's the thing that makes the and even I like even Doctor Psycho. You start to see the more he has redeeming factors.
They all have. I mean, in a way, they all have very redeeming aspects. I mean, you look at someone like King Shark,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, if Harley didn't drag him into it, he'd just kind of be an IT guy somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't even come off as a villain, to be honest. Like, he has tendencies,
Yeah.
sure. He has some good one-liners, like the whole, you know, that age-old question: who wins, a wolf or a shark? The shark. You know, the shark. And it's like, it's great, but then at the same time, you know, he's also a parody. Because I'm sorry, to me he's black. King Shark's
Mm-hmm.
black.
Yes,
And
I
he's like a
completely agree.
parody of the safe black man trope. Like, he's very gentle, you know. He's more funny. He's more about causing. Even like right away when he's like, "I'm just happy to be on a schedule," and you're like,
Right.
"This dude is so wholesome," and he's like in the middle of like an actual supervillain team.
Mm-hmm. And what's funny about like that, it's also he's the most woke.
Yes. Yeah, he's
Like,
always bringing up the most woke thing. I like Clayface is almost like outside of societal norms. Like, he is truly like, bro, let's get this guy and have him be like the worst over actor as possible. And it
dude,
works. And it
and,
works.
and what's funny is at first it's annoying, but then you start to realize like he is Shatnering the hell out of everything he does.
Bro, he really it's like parts like when they went to Zeus's hideout, and like, you know, Zeus realized that he was lying about who he was, and he kept throwing out features of the mother, and he just kept turning into those features. And it's like,
Uh,
oh my god, dude, all you had to do
with
was
stick
say
to
that you
what?
were the actor. I mean, say that you were the mailman. And he just, and it's like so fun to see him like keep building up. Even when he ruined like the plan they had going to get Batman into Joker's tower.
That it's the most hilarious thing ever because you knew it was him. And you can tell he's like sitting there, like he's standing, trying his best not to overact, trying his best not to overact. Come on,
I
come
mean,
on,
bro,
you almost had this.
he built that whole persona as that like lady at a job just to get like his hands on an object, and like he kind of throws in the end, if you're paying attention, how like the dude he was like courting is going to be very confused when she doesn't show up on Monday. And it's
Yep.
like, oh my god, you literally went into courting a man. And
Yeah.
it's like, this is great. Like, I really love this case. Like, I said it in a tweet. Young me is angry with current me because he's like, how could you pick this Clayface over the one we grew up in? It's like, fuck off, kid. This guy's hilarious.
It really is. And so that's the other thing. Like this series did a really good job of humanizing these characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's amazing. And we have a neat. First off, what's up, Gorgonite? We have a
Hey,
Neo Star
what's up?
chat, and yeah, like I won't lie, I was reluctant to check out the cartoon at first, but after seeing a few episodes, it was actually I think he's saying I was actually impressed, but he's like I actually really liked it. I guess I'm not sure. Grr, he realized it. Oh shit! But no, dude. One of the things I really do have to give, like the Harley Quinn cartoon though, was their definite use of like running gags and proper execution of them.
No, they were. excellent, even down to the smallest running gag. In the last final episodes, when Fable sends them up to the sky to the giant, and Ivy's like, I wonder how big his dick is, and Harley's like, yeah, I want to talk about that, but we got to figure this out. It like a couple moments later in the episode, she's like, I was thinking that big dick giant was gonna fucking kill them, and I'm like, bro, that's awesome. She answered the question for us. Like, yeah, no, he has a big dick. And it was like, dude, it's like those little things that you're like, there's clever writing here. And I think if this series gets to continue, it's going to get better. Because like you said, it got better. Like, I liked it earlier in the series. Like, I liked it a lot, like real early. But like you said, I saw it get even better and better. It's even like the aspects of like the parody, like the episode with Damien, with Robin. It was I thought I was watching an episode of Boondocks, bro.
Dude, that shit was great.
Because like every 2 seconds it was like Tony, and I was like, bro, I could see Huey Riley on this stage right now, like embarrassed out of all his mind over like Riley and Grandpa like fighting on stage, and it was so perfect. The episode was done so right. Even that ending where they had like the interaction between Batman and his son, it was just like, dude, that's perfect. It's perfect. This is perfect.
What would be a good age to have sex? I heard the bat signal.
Oh, bro, the funniest part of that interaction with Batman's like, I made something for you. You didn't make that. Alfred did.
I made him make it.
I'm like, bro, this show even like it dunked on Batman in a way that's like, I feel like Batman's the only one not aware that there's a big joke happening around him. Like, and he's really trying to do his job, and everybody around him's like just gone shit nuts.
Gordon, man, we can't like not talk about Gordon real quick.
Oh God, this is a great gym. This is a great gym, dude. Like I like stressed out, unhappy, stuck in a bad marriage Jim. I know that's weird to say, but just every scenario he gets in because of it is like perfect. Like he's dying for a real friendship with Batman, and Batman is distancing himself.
My screensaver just kicked in, didn't it? Yes, it did.
Not good with emotions. Like, dude, that's awesome. Like, that's awesome.
And like his whole bit with the Clayface's hand, like with his little like daydream there, he was like,
"Because I'm evidence."
I finally found a friend. I don't need you anymore, Batman.
It was great. He was like, yeah, but I'm sure we shouldn't be talking about that. No, well, maybe we should, Jim. And that was a great episode. I thought it was a really great episode because that's where you saw everything start to untie for Harley. Like, it got to a point where, like, one thing I like about the show was she has to earn her wins.
Yes.
Like, Harley gets her ass beat bad before she finally wins, which I like. But then she starts to get to this point where it's just like nonstop success, and you're like, all right, I see where they're going. And then it's like, yeah, because she's so fucking full of herself, she undoes everything she wanted. And this was a great episode for it because you could start to see how everything fell apart for them.
Oh yeah. One of the other things that I really like, we have to give this show character growth.
Yes. Oh my God, there's actual character growth. Like, I think my favorite on that is Dr. Psycho right now. Like, he even self owns when he's like, all right, yeah, I see where you're going with my woman hating shit. And how funny is it that they torture him with a pussy hat Karen?
It's like,
bro, it's like you said, it's woke and not woke at the same time.
Yep. And I kind of got watching something else earlier today while drawing. Which, what do you think of the what I'm working on?
I'm
It's
digging it.
like that's a character from my comic. I'm like working with the digipad, so I'm trying to learn how to use it, and at the same time
Good
do
for
some
you.
character concepts for my artist.
Good for you. That's the way to go. I mean, even me these days, I'm now more relying on teams to produce the things I want to get going in the next few years. And the solo thing was fun. I proved a lot, but this it's big. You got to get a team.
Yeah, that's real talk. Real talk.
Real talk, or you're just gonna have egg on your face like I currently have. Anybody watching, I apologize for being late. I'm going to use this coronavirus to catch up and hopefully finish this goddamn fucking book. Sorry.
All right, dude.
Back to Harley.
Right, but no, dude. Like one of the things that, like I said, I was watching it earlier while drawing. That Harley Quinn really, I feel like, in so many ways, carries the torch of drawn together.
Yes, absolutely. The dynamic of the team is almost exact in a superhero setting, which is really cool. Especially when you stop to think, like this is a pretty badass team. Like if this was written as a serious book, this would be fucking cool. I mean, fucking cool, bro.
Like Sirius King Sharkweed, not all Mr. Wholesome. He's a scary freaking guy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Actual Clayface.
Oh god, that's even worse.
Like really think of this. Like
Dr. Psycho, they're all like cold-blooded killers that'll kill you without a second thought.
Right, and that's what makes it even, and like I said, that's what makes it so funny to me, because like they're still considered the underdogs.
Oh, Bane.
Oh Bane. God, the greatest thing about the whole show, bro. Yes. He is both the comic book and the Dark Knight Rises version at the same time, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, well, I'm gonna blow that up.
Yes, because the fact that when he starts talking like this, you immediately think Dark Knight Rises, but then he references things in the comic books.
Exactly, because he looks like the comic book, and there's venom flowing through him because Joker unplugs it. And
that scene is great. Him going running out,
and he's standing right behind me, isn't he? And it's like, but he's definitely Tom Hardy. And it's like, if they cast Tom Hardy to be in the comic book, we're gonna take him out with some explosions.
All right, curse you, Todd. God.
It's I mean, Bane is awesome. He's both like the butt of the joke and the voice of reason at the same time.
Yeah, he is.
Which I really love. You go, girl. No, he said, ooh, Gogurt. Which immediately I had to say out loud, and I was like, ooh, Gogurt. And I was like, oh yeah, that does sound like it.
It does. It's like and
that bar mitzvah, bro. He's so good. Like people have to go out and watch this. This is actually really good new current stuff. Like this is good things to binge while you're stuck home.
Right. It was one of those rare moments where you're looking at it like I said, I was like, I want to know what got me to get Disney Universe. The comics, pure and simple. Yeah. The comics. I was like, I don't care about any of that shit. Ooh, comics, there's a lot of these stories. I wouldn't mind, you motherfuckers. Okay. Got it.
Comics. They got the original Teen Titans series too. Which is awesome. They got a whole shitload of Batman movies, like animated Batman movies, which are they're great. They're always great watches. Some classic DC films. They have some of the older Superman movies. They have some an all right start out catalog, I think.
Oh, dude, Lois and Clark: The Adventures of Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I've been watching that.
Stuff going on. They've got good stuff going on. It's it's one of the more better streaming services. But you know, I mean, I think that's because DC's always been better at its like TV and cartoon series. Well, until recently. But you know what I mean?
Hey! They can't help it. They got infiltrated just like everyone else.
Everyone did, and honestly, so did the marketing team on this cartoon. This was horrendous marketing. This was marketed as OMG, Yas Queen, put men down, women first, and it is absolutely 100% not that in any way, shape, or form. Even when they say stuff like that, they instantly go and do something that contradicts it.
Oh yeah, and that's part of what really makes this work, is the fact that they do immediately contradict it in the most hilarious of fashion.
Because like you said, Fables, they talked about, you know, how she was breaking the glass ceiling of supervillains, you know, first major female supervillain. And one scene later, the most feminist of all villainesses, Poison Ivy's like, yeah, no, fuck that bitch, send her to jail.
Right?
And you're like, holy shit, really?
Well, and it's because, like, you think they sit there and they leave you at the whole glass ceiling bit for a while, and then come to find out, no, it's not because of the glass ceiling. No, this bitch is a crazy bitch who kills indiscriminately. They were like, no, fuck that bitch. We can't do anything about her. Let's stuff her in a tax code and let her figure it out.
Exactly. Really good series. Just, oh man, such a good. Can we talk about Aquaman?
Dude, we got to talk about Aquaman, because that shit was
Aquaman
fucking
was
hilarious.
a great. They did great with Aquaman. Like I laughed and was hyped by him at the same time.
Right?
Like
dude.
It was one of those things like, oh my god, look what they did to Aquaman, and then instantly it's like, oh my god, look what they did to Aquaman.
Dude, it's because of the fact that I can tell you what they did. They fused his ass with Jason Momoa's version's likability.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they took everything that made the Jason Momoa Aquaman that worked and combined it with the OG look from, like, the edgelord 90s where he first started having long hair. And it's like, it works. You're just kind of like, you know?
Yeah, no, they did a really good job with him. You know, even down to when you're not my dad, that is not what she confessed. Ha ha! And you're like, bro, that is brilliant. Like it was so weird because it's like, bro, they like kind of went full dorky Aquaman, but he's still Chad. Like he was a major fucking Chad, but a dork at the same time.
I know, and it so worked.
Yes.
Like one of the things that really stood out about that Aquaman is that at the same time they kept him still his eco-friendly, like, fish lifestyle. So Harley, all she had to do to get out of that situation was get him more worried about the fish.
Oh, I'm stepping on them. Look, I'm stepping on them. Stop it, Dane! So that was oh, that's so great. It is, yeah. And once again, I mean, they show that's a great scene too, because it's like, well, Harley beat Aquaman by doing something besides fighting him, because that wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah,
which I really loved, because I was like, please don't let her beat up Aquaman. Like, I'm rooting for Harley, obviously, but it's like, you know, be realistic. Harley ain't beating up Aquaman.
Yeah, right. Don't wharf my man Aquaman like that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, bro, like Harley ain't one of the people that, and even then, let's be honest, Aquaman ain't the little bitch that he's ever made out to be.
No.
So it's like, you know.
Like, okay, prime example. The scene in the movie where he's in the bar with his dad. We all thought of the same scene from the 90s Justice League comic where they did the retro, like, 60s team.
Mm-hmm.
And he got into that bar fight and cleared everyone out. That's what we were all expecting him to do, because they always reference that scene because it's such a well-liked scene. And then they gave us the twist. Like, that's excellent use of the character. Same as in the movie. That's why I said they took Jason Momoa's likability and gave it to the guy.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of, it's even the Joker, in a way, if you look at him, he's kind of like every version smashed together into like the most dislikable villain. and I love it. Like, I think this Joker's an asshole.
He really is.
Like, this Joker's a fucking asshole. And, like, I borderline don't like him, which automatically makes me fucking love him.
Because he's done right. Because
Yes.
you're not supposed to like you're supposed to like the Joker because of the fact that you cannot like him.
Where's my goddamn car, Bruce?
Totally forgot about that.
You know,
Totally.
like, this is a great Joker. In every way, every scene he's in, he's a fucking piece of shit.
Uh-huh.
But still the coolest guy in the scene.
Oh, yeah. And one of the other things that really they did well was excellent use of Gotham itself. Like, how there was never a background that just felt misplaced. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
Like, it always felt like, how do I put it? Like, you ever watch like a cartoon or whatnot, and you're kind of looking at the background, and you're like, is that even? That's not the. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
no, I know what you're talking about.
Just really confused as to why they're doing like that particular back. No, everything felt seamless. It felt like there was one point where it was janky and you could tell the story was bouncing around. It was the Kite Man Ivy date episode.
Yeah.
You could tell they had a bit of jumping around by having her with Harley and with Kite Man at the same time. So even though it was implied these were different times, they could have done that one a little better. But other than that, like, they kept. There was no moments where incorrect parts were where there should have been.
No, and the continuity was pretty dead on. I mean, in the very first episode, Harley says she wants to take the governor of the mayor of Gotham hostage and get a highway named after her. By the end episode, she's driving over a highway named Harley Quinn Highway that's pink and does loops. You know what I mean? Like, they've really built up to that scene, and I was like, I was impressed. Yes, I was like, oh shit, they did something with that. It wasn't just a throwaway.
Yeah,
and that was a fucking badass chase scene,
dude. That was a hilarious chase scene,
bro. Well, I loved seeing Ivy do her thing.
Oh, dude, and once again, like, this is probably the most. If you ask me, in the 90s, like, when people talk about Harley as, well, she's always been, a villain, it's like, well, in the 90s, she wasn't trying to be. She was just an eco-terrorist, and she even did try to get away from man and be left the hell alone.
Yeah.
On several times, she tried to get away from mankind and just be left the hell alone. And people being shitty always brought her back to mankind and made her active. So I liked this version of her because of the fact that it was that same, like, I just want to be left alone, man. I just want to do my thing for the plants.
I think she's also the most real written. Like, all of her dialogue sounded like things I hear the women in my life say.
Yeah, I can understand that. Like,
she didn't talk like if she was being scripted. It sounded like these things were happening to Poison Ivy in real time, and I really loved that. Even down to, like, when, in just the smallest of things, like, oh, I'm going for Thai food. Text me what you want. No, I could just tell it to you. No, I'm not gonna remember it. Just fucking text me, and walks away. And I was like, bro, like, I had that conversation with my ex.
Right. Like, yes, Kat, I see you found the mic. But no, I trying to think. Like, there's really no point in her dialogue other than, like, once again, the glass ceiling part that I really, and even then, like, you touched on the best part about that. You know what I mean? Where they play it and then pull it back, and that's part of why you like her, because she's like, she plays that and then shows that she's actually reasonable.
Right.
At the same time.
Right. She pretends she's this all feminist, but, like, she totally fucks a dude that, like, sits around his apartment in his underwear playing Xbox.
And once again, I just, if you do not root for Kitely, there's something wrong with you. You have no soul.
Well, I mean, there's only two words to describe it. Hell yeah.
Right? And
It's
I
no,
just
it's awesome. I would never thought of something like that. And by the end of it, you're really happy for him.
right.
You're like, bro, this guy actually got poison ivy, all because he had the nuts to walk up to her and be like, "Did you hear that in the wind?"
Right. And and,
And it's
and
like,
like
bro,
and like the other thing that I liked about it, and this is where I think he really gained her interest. He didn't deny like, or it was that same episode where they go back to Ivy and Harley's apartment to get the antidote and everything, and he's undresses and gets in her bed. She's
for
like,
the sex. Hell yeah.
"What are you doing? No, we came back to get the antidote." And he's honest with her. This is like the most. He's like, "You could have literally called a cab. It would have been quicker." Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, no, I mean, I thought the whole time we were coming to fuck. I love that. Like, I love that aspect because it's like, well, I wasn't completely being a creep. I legitimately thought, like, bro, why else would you bring me here?
A
And
cab.
like, I thought that. I like that they put that in there.
Uh-huh.
This is like, no, bro, I really, we were for the sex. You know, and it's, and you believe him because it's like, well, he didn't sneak up on her. He didn't try to grab up on her. He didn't start forcing her with kisses. Yo, he got butt naked and jumped in bed and spread his legs.
Uh, and what's even worse about that scene is like you really kind of like, he's got a point. I mean, what would she expect him to do?
Yeah, like, bro, you like, what are you doing? Like, see, you you brought me to your crib, bro. You just met me.
Like knowing full well you could have just hailed a cab and been here like 30 minutes sooner.
I mean, hell, she could have used her plants to get there quick.
Right. And just to look on her face, like this is where I give the animators full credit because the look on her face, she just, you could tell she's trying to find an argument against that point, and like,
Yeah, she's
nothing.
like, just put your clothes on. Let's go. Come on. And like, still kept him with her, and still didn't take a cab back.
Uh-huh.
And then he actually pulled her on that like night sky fly.
And that's like,
And it's awesome. And it was just from there on in, and it's like it was just fun. It was fun to watch. And like you had said, character growth. Like they both became better people.
mm-hmm.
And let me just say one thing we haven't mentioned. In this version of the DC universe, being a villain is totally like a normal thing that's like that, like, yeah, I mean, like the Legion of Doom headquarters is just in the middle of like Central Park. It's just out there. There's totally companies to help you, like, get goons and villains. Like this. It's such a fun world because it's like, dude, like it seems in this world villains are like more accepted in society than heroes even.
Yeah, it's because you're just like, well, I mean, you can't escape from them. They're gonna do it anyway, so at least let them operate openly, so we can at least crush them with a court of public opinion like everyone else.
Beautiful. Absolutely. It's a great series. People really need to do themselves a favor. At the very least, I shouldn't even say it, but at the very least, get the service, sign up for the free trial, binge watch the series, cancel it.
Right?
It's worth a quick binge.
Oh, dude.
Like you could watch this in a night if you have nothing to do, and let's be honest, some of us have nothing to do.
Dude, the theater I work at, for the time being, of course, is closed because, well, Corona-chan trying to take everybody out. And so I was going to work the Forge today, but it's been raining for like the past straight week here. Yeah, it's monsoon season in Oklahoma. I should have warned you about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was the booming tax season. I was like jam-packed, banging out, looking like I was going to hit my financial goals, and then this just pulled the carpet out from underneath me. Because I mean, we still haven't been told we have to close down and stop, but I feel like my days are numbered. Getting able to, what I mean. But what's worst is, my kid's mother is now out of work, and me being me, like
you're trying to help out and be.
I have to, like, it's.
Dude,
I
get that.
I hear my father from the grave saying, "Yeah, you're gonna have to go do something about that," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Leave me alone."
No, no, dude, it's not even that. That's just who you are in general, dude. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, so I'm like, pretty soon it's like, oh, geez, I'm in no position to be helping people. So I'm just like, all right, I'm going to draw. I'm going to catch up on work. I'm going to draw. Even now I was kind of excited that it was going to be like daddy-daughter work day more often, but it's like, yo, not even, because she's just going to be at home with mom,
Yeah, right.
you know?
No,
So,
I completely get it. And one of the things I gotta say though is at the very least, it just goes to show when it rains, motherfucker.
but I don't know. I mean, honestly, hey, there's a chance of a certain amount of things being reset, but we'll save that for a whole nother stream. For
Right.
now, I think everybody really needs to watch this series real quick because it's funny as shit. They utilize the DC characters in a fun new way. Some things are straight up like fan service. Like, this is Lex Luthor from the Justice League cartoon, and this is Lex Luthor from the Superman cartoon. They didn't even
Yes.
change the character model.
Nope. Like, I'm surprised they didn't just have Clancy Brown come back.
That's what I damn, that would have been awesome. But
Right.
it was still one of those, like, this is such a self-aware, fun cartoon that it's worth the watch. Like,
Well,
this universe deserves more cartoons within it.
and it's because of the fact that they did like I said, they kind of did. I half-ass swear they did the straight SJW subplots as partly a troll to the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because half of this is like so not PC. Like, half of these jokes,
Oh, hell no, this isn't PC.
like, you just, and that's the biggest thing. And I know that's everyone's worry. No, it is not PC. This thing makes fun of them every chance it gets. So I think that, you know what? I think that's why the marketing worked. It got the attention of the woke Twitterati types, and then everyone started going, "Huh? Wait a second," because the brave ones amongst us who watched it first were like, "Nah, dude, you gotta check this shit out," and it spread amongst the comic book community, and we're all secretly enjoying a snicker about it because we realized that the cartoon's making fun of the woke Twitterati types at every turn.
It really is.
And the woke Twitterati types were specifically marketed to watch it.
And then suddenly those snowflakes will need a safe space.
Dude.
What?
Oh, no, I'm just because you're right. They will. They'll be like, once they realize everyone's laughing at them for liking the show when the show's making fun of them.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get what you're saying. I still feel like that marketing was like, it hurt it it hurt its beginning. I think this could have been a well-reviewed, well-received cartoon by a lot of people. And just, I don't know, like, they really need to stop that. They did the same thing with Birds of Prey. I still haven't seen Birds of Prey, but I've been told by many people that it wasn't exactly as woke as people made the big deal out of. But I mean, I wasn't even willing to give it a shot because of how they made it out. They really need to stop that.
I'm scared. I'm scared. I couldn't.
They really need to stop stuff like that.
Well,
even now with the newest New Warriors that they put out. That's why I even said it like that. Those snowflakes don't need a safe space. Like, they have infested mainstream comics, and right now, I mean, just the way things are going in society, the comic industry is gonna suffer a lot.
Because you're already seeing, like, you've been seeing the revolt against the PC police for a while now. And they're quadrupling down on it now, and it's like, dude.
That was a bad mistake. This is gonna really do them wrong. And, you gotta ask yourself, like, why would you give a writer like this that straight up in the very interview says, oh, I wasn't cool enough for this series. Why give it to him? He's not cool enough for the series. He self-admits, I'm not cool enough for this series. Why would you give it to him?
Dude, well, it's like,
You
The best
know
way that I could
what?
describe it.
That's like saying, "Oh, I never read any of the Conan comics when I was a kid because I didn't feel like I was manly enough."
All
Don't
right,
let that guy write Conan.
right?
He's gonna wimp him up to make himself feel better because all these people they're going for the I want to feel better writing. I want to feel better drawing, and that's wrong.
Exactly. No. Like, all right. For a prime example, you put me in charge of, let's say, Wolverine. We're going to use him for instance. First off, I'm going to make sure that he's a big, lovable lug until you piss him off. And then you have the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde element. You know, make sure that he's the thing about Wolverine that everyone always forgets, and even now they don't get it about him. He's a manly man, the truest form of a man's man. The thing that the dude's like 150 years old.
Yeah, he's like my.
Like, I'm just
He's
saying,
a little guy too. He's a
yeah,
little burly, fucking swole ass, smelly, stinky, musky. I've always imagined Wolverine smells like stale cigars and like musky armpit.
you know, you get the point though. It's like you'd write him like a man though, and it gets
Oh
make him
yeah,
the gentle giant. And the big thing is he's and literally I would write him as like the wandering swordsman, because I think that's when Wolverine is his best, is when he is just kind of roaming the countryside, just kind of doing his thing because he's a loner and that's what he does, and he's on the trail righting wrongs. That's when Wolverine is best Wolverine.
yeah. Honestly, if I were to get my hands on like I saw they put some new art out for like a new run on America Chavez. The art looks all right. They made her look pretty. Like she looks like a girl.
Not
Um,
not not they didn't go with the She-Hulk Hulkification.
oh God, oh no, that Rivera run was awful,
Dude.
awful. Um, but um, like if you gave me something on her, I'd write a book more on like, you know, her losing so that she learns how to get out of that attitude. Like I wouldn't even retcon Rivera's run. I would on purpose pick it up right where it was, you know, and have her fuck up big and have society start hating her. So she has to deal with the opposite of what happened. You know what I mean? So she
Exactly.
has to build herself back up to the point where she does get to save the day. And she realizes that, you know what I mean, that the path that she was on was incorrect. And, you know what I mean?
No, I
Uh,
completely get it and I agree. It's the whole idea of uh basically the only way to redeem a lot of these heroes is to get them back on the hero's journey and have them
exactly.
realize the error of the ways and turn it from a negative into a positive. But that's the thing. It's like one of the reasons why I like My Hero Academia so much is because it's all about heroes wanting to be heroes, wanting to be. That's the big thing there. Heroes. Not just, oh yeah, we're heroes because we're heroes. You know what I mean? And I like that. That's what made comics. And I really, to get back on Harley Quinn, that's part of the thing. Like they're not. There's motivation by why. You know what I mean? Like they want to be heroes. They
Yeah.
are villains, but they don't want to be shitty villains. They want to be liked and well
She wants to
received
be
because
big.
that's.
She wants to be respected. She wants to be feared. She goes for what
Mm-hmm.
she believes is all of that. And when she gets there, it just leads to her undoing. And at that point, the only choice she has to be able to fix everything she fucked up is to actually go through the steps of be a hero, but a
Mm-hmm.
villain at the same time. So
Oh
definitely, I wouldn't call her an anti-hero. I
no!
would just call her a villain to villains,
It,
if
it
that makes sense. So she's not a hero,
no.
but she's
It's
like so villains exist, but villains have villains, and Harley's that villain.
mm, and like the other thing that I like is she kind of the whole like she's a good person, like Ivy's a good person aspect of it. Like the whole episode with like we were talking about earlier with at his wit's end Jim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, your friend's in trouble. Why? Like, forcing Batman to actually be a good friend to his buddy. I couldn't have written that. I would never even thought of that. And it's one of the greatest fucking plot points ever.
It really is. I mean, now you're making me think. Now you're making me remember, bro. Dr. Psycho's a good dad.
Yeah. I know, right? That's why I said
No,
he
son,
has
I
redeeming qualities.
saw so much evil potential in you. I hate you, Dad. I hate you too, son. Like, bro, that was a great scene. That was a
I
great scene.
know.
He's like, no villain is born from a good life. What's wrong with you? He's like, if I gave you a good life, you would have never gone through with that evil instinct that you have.
Right?
And I'm like, bro, in a way, to a villain, this is correct.
Yeah.
This is correct.
Like, dude, and that the fact that Ivy's crying, like, this is so beautiful and so fucked up at
It's
the
so
same
fucked
time.
up. Yeah. Because that's what the audience is feeling.
Right?
Like, yo, this is a touching scene, but they're like literally crying over the fact they're telling each other how much they hate each other.
Uh-huh. It's like, all right, we need to check chat real quick, answer some questions before we continue. But we've been geeking out. All right, Gorgonite. I didn't expect anything getting dragged into watching it. I expected the same cringe bullshit the comics have been shouting out, wrapped up in animation. I didn't like. Pleasantly surprised. Yep, that's no lie. Man, poor Jim. Someone help this poor bastard. Yep.
He doesn't do that.
Right. Let's see. No, Gorgonite. The stylus on my phone is kind of busted. Like, I just haven't been able to. I keep meaning to buy a new one. I just keep forgetting when I have the money. And now Amazon's pretty much, well, unless it's essential, Amazon is not shipping it right now. So I'm not even going to bother. Yeah, I've been trying to finish some concept for my own artists. He and their in-house colorist is kind of the extent on my team. Yeah. At the most of Harley's team's pretty damn powerful. Yup. I don't know what the fuck explosions are, Bane. Not a bad. Let's see. Yep, throw Harley. Where's my electric car, Bruce?
They did throw her out of a train.
Yup. Recently, I've tried to get work on.
I love that scene. She was barefoot the whole time. Just saying.
Neostar, the best thing you can do to figure out how to write a good script is to read a few just to get the basic format. Humble Marty, Raging Golden Eagle accidentally named them the New Warriors, especially Safe Space and Snowflake.
Oh, they're awful.
Hell, I'd love to write a Dark Hawk and Howard the Duck comic, right? That might sound presumptuous, but I think I could do a decent runaway story, especially considering where the series is now, right? And what is up, Armand?
Hola, primo, dime cómo estamos. Aquí, again. Talk a little bit of Harley Quinn.
But now to get back to Harley Quinn and talking about the gloriousness of the show, because if you have not seen Harley Quinn, well, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Yeah, seriously, it's like I can't stress enough how entertaining of a cartoon it is.
Oh, dude,
because it's pretty sick. I kind of like the soundtrack for the fight scenes and whatnot. Like they definitely use like chick punk rock correct.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
You know, which is very rare now when they're like matching up music with female fight scenes.
It's because they will match up the most unfeminist scene. Like, they'll match it up with what modern feminism believes feminism is versus, what old school feminism, what the old school like girl punk feminists believed feminism to be. And the
Yeah,
show used it, lined up those themes properly to where it was actual feminism on screen with actual old school feminism music. Not, well, what feminism was, I should say.
right. I mean, another good example. So I actually watched Captain Marvel, and I'm one of the very few people that thought it wasn't like garbage. It was just like a bland film. Like I didn't think it was
I
bad. I thought it was bland. Um, and once again, marketed wrong because it's not that extremely woke. Like it had its parts, but you know what I mean. Some of the fight scenes were fun, but that last fight scene where they started playing No Doubt, I was like, this would have been a so much better fight if she was actually angry and fighting serious to like climactic music in the back.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like, they just did her a big disservice by
Well,
making like a big scene where she fights back against the Creed for the first time, like a goofy, like chick moment. I don't
right.
know, like they just kind of made her a bimbo.
No. What I find bad about the show is all right, dude. You know me. I love my martial arts, things like that. I'm watching like I couldn't get past the little spar session, then the little fight scene where there at the beginning. Like
Yeah.
I think I made it like 9 minutes in and I couldn't do anymore because seeing her fight was so atrocious to me. Dude,
Well, you
it
know me, I'm actually attracted to her, so I was more like, oh wow, she looks real pretty.
yeah, but my whole thing is though,
And that's how I got through that scene. I was like, oh wow, look, she's pretty.
you know, but at the same time, you're not like big into like technical martial arts. You're not
Well, I
seeing all the
mean, I love me a good fight scene, and I love a well done fight. Um, I think her fight scenes that relied on her using her powers were the strongest of fight scenes.
makes
Um,
sense because then she didn't have to do any technical like
right,
proper
right.
fighting.
You know what I mean? The stuff where, she like just gave power punches to send people back or energy blast or flying through something and stuff. I really thought those were the strongest of scenes. I'm not gonna lie, the first time I watched it, I finally was able to like because I did kind of doze off. I did kind of doze off the first time I actually sat down to watch it. But like I definitely woke up right as she like got all badass and like fired up and was in space, and I was like, all right, yeah, this is cool. And then at that point I realized I was like, they should have saved this for after Endgame
Yeah.
because it would have been so much better, especially if you wanted her as a flagship character.
Right. Well, and the other thing is that scene. I know what scene you're talking about because I've walked in and out of the theater when it's showing. Where during that scene and everything a couple times, and the reason why it worked is because she was fighting more like a brawler,
Right.
and that's why it worked. It didn't look like she was trying to be a technical
Well,
fighter.
I
She
mean,
just rolled
Carol
through, and
Danvers has always been I'm gonna just fucking punch you.
yeah, she's a
Like
brawler
I'm just gonna
anyway.
fucking punch you, bro. Like, let's be honest, Carol Danvers, when she was Miss Marvel, wasn't like graceful. She was just fucking stacked. She was hot,
And she was a
you know?
blunt instrument. She's not the
She was just
smartest, but
she wasn't a character you put on her own. You just kind of fluff a team with her. Like if you need a
she
team to
was
take
the
on something
muscle.
big, you fluff a team with her, you know? You'd be like, oh
My
yeah, we need an extra muscle. Throw in fucking Miss Marvel.
yeah, okay, we'll be over here. Just kind of, yeah, okay, bye. All right, team, let's kind of just hang out for the next like 20 minutes while she handles them because they are severely. Oh God, did she just stick his head up
Yeah.
that guy's ass?
So
Oh God.
so from like the writing point of view, it was like, all right, you got someone that can take down numbers, and then from the artist's point of view, it's like, all right, we could do some eye candy. That's what Miss Marvel was. And once again, not the greatest character, but like a useful toss-in. Now she's trash. Now, I mean, I don't know. Especially because they didn't build her as a fun, awesome character that finally became like useful. They were just like, all right, she's like just like fascists lock people up for future crime.
Yeah. Like, and then they wonder why nobody likes her anymore. And it's like, you took a fun, lovable character and turned her into the Karen from hell.
Yeah, bro. I actually would have. I even thought at a certain point they could have pulled off the short hair if they did it. And she had one of those like woman freak out moments where they just chop off their fucking hair, and then you just show it growing back again.
Yeah, and just her slowly just kind of coming back from this. Like, there's so many missed opportunities in New Marvel where they could have updated these characters right.
Yeah, like when you think of something like Miss Marvel gets to become the new Captain Marvel, that's supposed to be something awesome. It's an upgrade. It's a
Yeah.
promotion. And then you see what they did, and you're like, well, this isn't Captain Marvel. I mean, at all. And I don't mean
No.
just her specific. I mean, the title, the way the character acts. Like, what are you doing? Like,
Right?
I
It's
mean, from
not
the
even.
very beginning, it was like, this, get her the fuck off of Earth. This is a
Well,
comic superhero.
dude, and what was worse about it is like I couldn't help but look at it and go, this isn't even Miss Marvel anymore. Like
Mm-mm.
she's not even the same character.
No, it's not at all.
Like
She doesn't
even
fit the personality. It's just not Carol Danvers.
yeah, it's even after she woke up from her coma, all like I'm gonna kill me some rogue. She wasn't even that like you know what I mean? That crazy. She was just
Like,
kind of like she needed
it's
to beat
to
up
the
Rogue a
point,
little bit, and she was good.
it's to the point that if they used the corny, used out cliche, it was a scroll the whole time, it would actually be the only thing that makes sense.
You know, they
And
probably could.
that's sad. That's sad that the only way to undo everything they did with Captain Marvel over the last like what 5-10 years, it's like, oh, that was just a fucking scroll. No one could detect. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. It's just
It
something.
was a scroll, Cosmic Cube. Sorry.
We finally rescued her. Yay!
Yay, yay, yeah.
Same thing with the Captain America. That we finally figured out why the Nazi one existed. He's not really he's not really proper Captain America. We had to actually save our Captain America. Now we have two Steve Rogers. Be jealous.
Yeah, it's I mean, I mean DC they're doing I mean they're not as bad as Marvel, but DC's pretty bad. But I think getting back to Harley, this is a good
Oh, dude.
this is a great like counter to what they've done with Harley comic wise
And
and media wise.
oh, dude. It's literally them. Like you could tell. I hate to say it, you can tell the creators are actual comic fans because you can tell that they are. Like I said, they're making fun of the very people that are destroying comics, and I think that's kind of their like. I think what it is they're secretly in our camp and they're real like comic book fans and whatnot, and they saw the people like me who my friends were leftists back in the day, but this is back when leftists were still sane. You know what I mean? And they watched all their friends that also were kind of into comics get into the industry and whatnot, and they're like, all right, I hate you all now. I'm gonna roast the fuck out of you, and you're gonna praise me for it.
Bro, this show is awesome because when Harley sits down at a bar mitzvah table and they say this is reserved for the kid becoming a man's friends only, unless you're the girl he finger blasted at summer camp. Well, if I said I am, will you let me sit? And it's like, bro, Harley was totally gonna play along with this 13-year-old. Like, fuck.
All right, like, and
so not PC, guys. So not PC.
no, it really
Trust me,
isn't.
so not PC.
And
I mean, at the beginning of the bar mitzvah, Penguin confuses them for, oh, are you guys the dancers for the...
yep.
Like, he thinks they're sure. It's awesome.
Oh
It's
yeah.
awesome.
And the other thing I give them full credit for with that whole bar mitzvah bit is like, oh yeah, she walked in with a tiger and everything. She looked like she's doing really well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she got HPV, by the way.
Well,
Oh.
most sexually active adults do.
said the voice of reason, bro. It's just the funniest shit in the world. It's hilarious. Like this is a great cartoonist, especially I hate to say it if you're one of those people that sit down and you'll smoke a fat one, you need to watch this show.
Oh, dude, you already know. I'm probably, after we get done streaming, probably gonna do that myself.
I mean, I was gonna even tell everybody when you heard me coughing at the beginning, that was because I was getting in the zone. But I'd rather not say it out loud.
Dude. I mean, come on, dude. There are streams where that I've like Attack of the Live streamers where dude. You just
I mean, I hate to put myself out there, but I mean, pretty much every stream I do that my face isn't showing, and even now I'm kind of ballsy. I'll do it even if my face is showing. I usually smoke one. I'm one of those people. I always consider myself very functional, and it never comes before everything else important.
And that's what it's supposed to be. And we're the societal change, and the best way I can put it to people, and they don't understand. When you think of most people in the scientific community, the thing you got to understand is that most of them don't drink. Most of them despise alcohol, but they will smoke them some motherfucking weed.
I don't drink anymore. I used to be a big drinker, not like problem with it, but huge party guy. But I don't drink anymore like that, unless it's an occasion, and then it's actually fun again. Because I was like drinking because it was party time.
Right.
But now it's actually it's fun, unwind.
Nice.
If you like to have drinks too, I guarantee the show would be hilarious after a few shots.
Oh, probably. Like, I almost forgot to do the face. But no, dude, the show. Part of what I'm not gonna lie, I was finishing up the show yesterday because you're like, let's stream. So I was like, all right, let me get this done because I want to catch you while you're still excited and while I'm still excited. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I just sat there and kind of shotgunned the rest of the series yesterday while jumping between playing video games and working with the Wacom.
Well, I mean, what I do at the very end of the night before I go to bed, usually I reserve the last hour of the day before I go to sleep for I'm gonna sit down, play. Everyone's gonna laugh at me. I still play Skyrim. I have not put that game down, and I refuse to play another game.
You do realize that it's on my computer right now, actually.
Okay. All right. I still play it to this day. It's one of those good. I mean, I prefer it to any game that's come out since it's come out. And
actually,
I'll just watch this cartoon in the background. This has been my background noise since I started watching it. It's just hilarious. I don't know. It's I don't know. To me, it gave me my fix that I needed of some good Harley entertainment.
It's about when I come across things like that, the best way I can describe it is it reminds me of everything I liked about comics and why I liked it. Like My Hero Academia, why I always liked, superheroes and comic books, things like that. When something reminds me of what I liked about the genre as a whole, it's doing its job. It's doing its job effectively. And that's what Harley does. It reminds you of why you loved comic books and loved these characters.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You really are right. This is a great use. This is an awesome use of Batman's Rogue Gallery. Actually, one thing I loved about that first episode is, they really jam-packed as many Batman villains as they could into Arkham, but in a way that didn't feel forced.
Right? What do you think?
Right. No, that's looking good to me, dude.
Like, not to cut you off, I just wanted your actual opinion.
If you want to critique, I probably wouldn't do that live. But I think you did a good job.
No, not a problem. Like I said, I just for learning how to use a tablet, not bad.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I was using. I don't know because I was using Photoshop for years, and I kind of taught myself how to do it. And believe it or not, I did all my digital art with a mouse. I got good with using a mouse to do it. And then when I got my tablet a couple years ago, once I had that stylus in my hand, Procreate is essentially Photoshop. It just completely changed my world. I instantly knew exactly what to do with it. I instantly went right in. I mean, I make Plumpool on a tablet.
Oh, dude. Well, when I say this is a Wacom tablet, I'm talking it is one of the ones where I'm drawing at one point and I have to look at the screen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. That's different.
Like I was having
Bro,
to.
on my tablet. Oh my god. I'm
Yeah,
an
because you can
animal on this thing.
look at it and draw and everything, and that's why. But like working with
I
my
haven't picked up a
phone,
pencil in years.
right?
I really haven't. I shouldn't say that loud, but I almost don't even use it's weird. The only time I use a pencil is when I'm with my daughter. You know
Well,
what I mean? And at that point, I'm not going for the results of what I give out to people.
no, I'm just the muscles are wrong. There are countless flaws with this. I can see them
It's
all.
mostly down to proportion and perspective, especially when it comes to the legs. The arm grabbing from behind is kind of awkward. I mean, like I said, I'd rather not critique it live, just because I don't know.
Like, dude, if you want to critique me live, you can, because other people might learn something from it too. I'm not the only person that could learn something from it, and it's one of those. We're talking about Harley Quinn. We could also, you take a quick moment to take you back to your roots when you were giving people tips on drawing and whatnot in the early days of your channel.
Like, I mean, there's a lot. The hands are off. I believe the hand holding the sword, like holding the hilt, I think it's backwards. Your thumb would be on the outside if your arm was bent like that. The proportions of the legs are off. So one cap looks, so the forward cap is a lot thicker than the posterior one. You know what I mean? That's coming back.
Okay.
As well as that calf is much bigger than the thigh above it. You know what I mean? Your thighs are
yeah, I see that. I didn't notice that until you mentioned it.
Your thighs are remember, your femur is your longest bone in your body. So you want to give legs that right proportion. Legs are kind of longer than people think, and a torso is smaller than people think. You know what I mean? So you don't want to have a torso that extends longer than a thigh.
Gotcha. And that torso is longer than the thigh.
Yeah.
I never knew that. Like, I never thought that a thigh could be used as like a good measurement.
Your thigh is a really big piece. It's when you're starting to draw things using like the circle method. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, you saw how the build up from it and everything.
Yeah. You want the thighs to have a nice long, thick oval. Your thighs are really big body part.
Mm.
If you really, really think about it.
Oh yeah.
Whereas your forearm is only as long as your foot.
Huh.
Yeah, everybody at home, go ahead, put your foot up against your forearm.
I was about to. If it wasn't for the fact that my headset's dying, so I'm trying to find my.
When you think of the face, your pupils will line up with the edges of your mouth.
I do remember that.
There's 5 eyes throughout the front part of your face.
One sec.
Just certain proportions, certain things. I always suggest to people to look up on anatomy, look at muscle systems, science diagrams. They make really good 3D modelers that take off the skin and show you the muscle. That's really good for learning where muscles place, because muscles kind of muscles sit a little different than some people off the top of their head imagine. You know what I mean? A lot of and sometimes when you close your eyes and you think of the muscles on a superhero, you place them not necessarily correct,
Yeah.
just because you're looking at the certain circles. Like before the six-pack happens, before your abdomens happen, there's your sternum. You know what I mean? It doesn't go abdomen into pecs. Yet there's a bit of a sternum muscle.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? And
It's
you want to
which is
start
where I
creating
should
the
have been.
side. You want to start creating, you know what I mean, that sculpt of the side, because your torso doesn't go up flat. Ah, damn, I can't even remember the name of the muscles.
The muscle you're talking about, like on a missing, is the one that does like so that I should have done first and
Yeah,
then
and
come
then
down.
wow, I almost went to touch my screen, like if that really works. You know what I mean? And your abs want to come down a little bit more. That belt probably wants to come down a bit more.
All right, so the belt needs to come down probably about like so.
You know, you want to probably bring that belt down a bit. Yeah, you know what I mean? Extend that torso down and probably start to bring that crotch up.
All right.
And that should extend your that should start to extend out your thigh a bit more.
Word. No, I appreciate the critique. See, dude, I'm wondering if you haven't noticed over the past 2 years when I'm like, if you got any advice, I'll listen to it. Because it's sometimes someone will tell you something, and while it may not work for you in one aspect, it might get you thinking of other ways that help you become a better artist.
Yeah.
So I
like
always.
These days, I'm not gonna lie, I do a lot of posing with my action figures. Because one of the awesome upsides of being a nerd dad is my kid totally loves superhero action figures. So anytime we find them cheap out there, we just buy them no matter what the character is. Because we usually end up like renaming and redoing the character and giving them funny voice. So it's like I have so many different shape, size action figures that I even sometimes have to rely on them for like modeling reference. There's a lot of technique. There's a lot of good things you could do to perfect your art and start building your muscle memory. Nothing's better than looking at something. And if people say, well, that's not art, well, I mean, that's what all the paintings and all the museums that are famous were made.
Yeah, they're of people that they actually looked at and
They actually looked at people and painted them. So, you know what I mean? It's not cheating. It's not anything. That's actually like the most basic aspect of art. Look at something and draw it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take anything away from anybody. The only thing I've never said is don't straight up plagiarize something and say it's yours. You know,
But
if you're gonna, even if you do, because I do a lot of retracing over like official art, but it's for the purpose of straight up saying I fixed it or an edit.
yeah,
Because I love to I don't know, I have this obsession with seeing me, but as the official art of whatever it is, and there's no better way than I'm just going to edit that official art from the very base of it.
no, and or my personal favorite, when you try to help a dude out, come up with characters that don't automatically cause people to cringe and just kind of go, okay, walk off, and then they get butthurt.
Yeah, another, there's a lot too that goes into creating a character. You don't ever want to overpower. You want to give your character flaws. The way I go into it, one of the things I try to always keep in mind is I like to write characters that I can't say, oh well, he's gonna beat your guy in a fight, because they can't. That's how I like my characters. I don't like my characters that it's like, oh yeah, well when my character comes through, everybody's no. Juan Pull, I'm sure he could have put up a good fight against a good many characters out there, but ultimately in the end, he's a big fat guy that would probably get winded and tired. You know what I mean? And beat by somebody with actual powers. Like he's not taking on like a demon hunter with like a possessed sword and like holds on to the soul of like 30 demons in a magic chalice that lets them channel energy.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
and that's something else that I try and have people do. Don't go for super complexity. Build the complexity.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
it's
definitely.
always better to start with something that can be built up than something that has nowhere to go but deconstruction at that point. Either flat out they're an absolute, or you can only start to deconstruct.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a big absolutist type of guy. I only have one character that's an absolute, and it's almost that. And I mean, it's for the sake of figuring it. Like, my challenge with the character is make it interesting without having to rely on it being an absolute, always gonna fucking win type of character.
Well, and that's one of the things that with like because you know, this is like, for instance, this character, it's actually for my comic book, it's one of the side characters and whatnot. Like, originally this character started out as a book that I was writing that actually was meant to go into the world as well. Like, you know what I mean? Uh, like, the reason why he looks so androgynous, because he's a vampire, and the rules, for instance, in my world, the reason why vampires always look kind of androgynous is because the virus itself actually causes physical, I guess you could say, transformations to make you pretty.
Mutation.
Yeah, thank you, mutations to make you pretty and kind of androgynous. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
To maximize your hunting ability. The reason
very
why.
comparable to in the Fallout series, the FEV virus takes away the sexual features of the super mutants. So you
Mhm.
actually don't ever know when you're facing a female super mutant because they all look the same.
Yep,
You would have to look at their shriveled genitalia.
and that's not something I'd wish on my worst enemy. I'm just saying.
I always like to remind people, you never know when you just mow down like a clan of females.
Right. But no, and but the whole point is, like, the reason why, for instance, like, his hair is, when I'm done with this, I'm going to work on his face with his hair is actually back. He that technically the eye, when he became he's not a proper vampire like in normal sense, you know, his military experiment with the virus, trying to make basically super soldiers that they can control, and they don't have any of the weakness of being vampires, because what good are soldiers they can only use at night, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he has like the idea for him is he's pretty much like, well, I signed up for the wrong fucking thing, former spec ops, this, that, and the other. So the whole idea of his character, like, the only reason why he carries a sword is because Raziel keeps bugging him to have a sword on him, and he's like, it's modern day. I have a pistol. I can carry a knife. Why the hell do I need a sword? Because there are certain situations where you can't shoot or knife your way out, but you have a sword and you can fight your way out with that. Because swords will still go through a lot of the armor that we run into. And he's like, you know, I fucking hate you, but you're right. So the whole swords don't run out of ammo.
Like, honestly, I'd say my most powerful character has it's just a host to an elder god, like you know, like an eldritch horror type of god, and therefore it's just by default always wins type of, you know what I mean, in a fight situation.
Yeah.
But I tend to write the character focusing more on the host, simply because the eldritch refuses to do anything on its own. The host has to decide to do it on her own.
Nice.
Type of thing. Like, I'm not here to give you power. Like, if you want to use it, go the fuck ahead. I don't care. I just want to see what you do with it. So it's
funny.
more about her coming to grips with the fact that she's like an omniscient, unkillable god.
Yeah, but see, that still creates a bit of like interest there. You know what I mean?
You know, like, this is literally like a 22-year-old, like, oh my god, girl. You know, in college, I just got a tattoo.
Like, oh my god, Becky, did you see Wanda? Like, she was wearing the same outfit she wore last night. You know what she did?
I have to go to my hot yoga class, and not because I'm taking it, but like I'm like the teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, no, that's literally who she is. and then has to deal with the fact that she, hosts basically like an elder god in hiding.
That is hilarious. And it's funny you mentioned that because, like, one like your flawed character and things like that. Like the whole idea, like with this, is like with Raziel the Fallen, is I want to harken it back to the old days of comics. You know what I mean? When superheroes were once again heroes because they wanted to be heroes, but they still had their flaws. Even Superman, as powerful as he still had his flaws. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, and a prime example, and I'm gonna use first episode of Lois and Clark Adventures of Superman. Is it, Clark busts into the basically where they were inspecting the ship, the launch shuttle that exploded earlier in the episode,
Yeah.
and he's got all the powers of Superman. He's like, "Stop, Ropa! Wait, I just busted in here without If they found out you see, like everything go through Dean Kane's face, and he's I'm gonna do nothing." Like,
And getting back to Harley, I'd say that's one of the things to look forward to, because you'll often find that Harley's biggest weaknesses get exploited, and her weaknesses are the best ones you can give. She's just fucking full of herself.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So Harley Quinn will always go in thinking she's got this. Then Harley Quinn gets her fucking ass beat, and then on the spot, Harley Quinn has to rely on her fucking crew and on her fucking gut instincts to get herself out, which she usually earns by the end of the episode.
yeah.
So you know what I mean? You definitely, if you, at the very least, you owe yourself watching like a good DC cartoon where the heroes put to fucking work,
Right.
and it's very refreshing because she is put to fucking work. Her crew is put to fucking work. In fact, her arrogance and flaws are what make her should be able to conquer any situation team a fuck up team.
Right.
They're a fuck up team because Harley's a fuck up. And then and throughout the season you see her actually
Get her shit together
and I mean and if you want a satisfactory ending, Harley gets the exact ending that she tried to have in the first episode.
right.
If you really see it, like the whole series comes full. I'm actually excited to see how they get out of that because the trailer they showed was her fighting the Penguin off. So I want to see where they take it because and once again this was a spoiler fucking episode. Like Scarecrow's dead, Joker knows who Batman is. Like Gotham's just fucking in flames.
And may I say that line is great. The Joker says, like, at least there's some mystery to who he is. Now I just know he's a rich kid with parent issues.
Yeah. No, I thought it was awesome. They gave a lot of I don't know if you noticed, but they gave a lot of like exposition, like a lot of exposition, but like done well in dialogue. So like Joker straight up tells the audience pretty much, bro, if I wanted to take off his fucking mask, I would have done that years ago. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Right.
Like, I don't want to know who Batman is. You fucking stupid.
It's like the fact that I don't know is what makes it interesting.
And even in the very like last episodes, I love Joker's dialogue around trying to get Harley back into her costume. And that's it, and I love it because it harps back to what I say about the classic animated costume. The reason I'm not always pushing for it, I love it. That's Master Race Harley. Don't get me wrong. But I don't push for it because that's sidekick Harley.
Yeah.
That's Joker's bitch Harley. She'll do anything for Mr. J, her pudding. I like Harley on her own. My favorite runs of Harley were her and Ivy. You know what I mean? I love her as her own villain. I love her doing her fucking thing. I love when they focus on her being like, like high acrobatic gymnastic fighter.
Which you gotta love how they touched on that in the series.
Oh, bro, how her father made her throw the fucking competition.
Like she is literally a Olympic medalist worthy gymnast, and her dad is the whole reason why she never became one.
Yeah.
Like, and like the way they did that and the way they explained it without actually having it be, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just, oh well, she's always been a gymnast. No, they actually took the time to explain. No, that was her dream. She became a psychiatrist because of the fact that her family's fucked up.
Yeah. Like that was all she had left, was go to school and get an education because they fucked her over on the Olympics. You know, I love that they touched on the fact that Joker didn't make her psychotic. She was like a fucked up little girl
Who's just wanting.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I love that. If I were given the run, I would probably keep something like that more canon. I like that origin. No, it wasn't the Joker that made her psychotic. She just found someone that brought that back out.
Oh yeah, you know, Frankie Muniz.
You know, like she was psychotic.
So that's why I went to juvie.
Her favorite memory is her fucking playing out a fight scene where the mom chops off the fucking husband's head. You know, you could see, oh my god, the brother's dead. Oh my
and the way they did, and the whole like
the whole opening scene. Yo, that really made, like, I was like, yo, dude, that was a dark fucking episode, bro. Even the soundtrack was fucking dark. Like, I was like, holy hell, bro. Dude. Like, they really fucking took it there.
And that's, dude, I gotta tell you, I missed like half of what you said because I had to plug my headset back in and it was being difficult. Like, I had to get coffee.
Yeah?
Yeah, you know me and my coffee, dude.
I hear that. I'm gonna jump off pretty soon. Just because I've been in dad mode the last few days, which, let me just say, was awesome. To the point I did not want to bring her back to her mother because I already got used to having her next to me. But being a parent, I'd rather work like 3 double shifts in a row back to back. You know, I know how to condition my mind through work. I know how to condition my mind through work because I can shut off and go into autopilot. You know what I'm talking about. It's a man skill. We just kind of like, all right, it's time to fucking work. When you're dad, you got to be there. You know, you got to be there at the whole point. So I'm like, I'm beat. I am beat. I'm fulfilled, but I am beat.
And that is the biggest lesson I've heard from many people who have kids. And like, it's a fulfilling experience, but you learn to live without sleep for a few years.
Yeah. 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 Oh no, dude, before her mother got laid off, I really had just committed to the fact that I'm just gonna I was gonna be going to her house like every morning, like around like 8 to pick up my kid. You know, just because that was the only way we were gonna. Yeah, I mean, because you know, it comes down to a point whether you even like the person or not. We're gonna have to hold it down. Because in cases like this, you know, you got, like, I keep reminding her, like, we don't have to like each other right now to hold it down with each other, because we're kind of all we got.
Right.
You know? So I'm like, geez, I'm beat. I might just, well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm probably gonna, you know, as soon as I get off, I'm probably gonna roll another one, settle myself in, throw on some Harley.
Hey, I'm probably gonna reload the bullet and head out back for a few. Then yeah, probably sit here. I might play some Vidget because I've been working on this pretty much all day because I've been really trying to get the time in to better. I guess you say get the. I find it funny that it took me working on my phone to really, and the seeing it with the phone and everything, but learning how to use layers and things like that to get it to where I can actually do something with the tablet now. Shit is fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah. Well, I
But
mean, there's something always fulfilling about like improving your art. I mean, even me, like we all are always improving. Uh, I'm a lot better now than I was just 2 years ago. Just I mean, I've started to pick up tricks. I've started to learn little shortcuts for myself. I mean, even as far as like promotional stuff, I have so much art assets. You know what I mean, that I could just use for quick promotional stuff.
speaking of, my folder of your like more meme worthy stuff is still kind of light here, bruh. Still kind of light here. I'm disappointed. Your edgelord extreme, master troll. I'm disappointed in you.
I I hate to disappoint everybody, but I'm not anymore. Uh, you can't have a future in that. Not unless you're very humongous and cancel proof.
True, very true. I can't argue the cancel proof.
And uh, you don't always get second chances, which that account got. You don't always get a second chance, which I kind of got. So I'm not gonna
Rock the
yeah,
boat for the
I'm
time
doing
being.
stupid. You know what I mean? I remember when I was younger, I was really into the streets, really into having, this and that, the turfs, dog, get off my block, my dude, da da, this and that. As I got older, I was like, what the fuck was that about? Who fucking cares?
I can tell you what it is, and it's really simple. You got older and you kind of realized that the more stupid. All right, so like the thing that always bothered me about when people mentioned the quote unquote nice guys, like you do realize there were some nice guys like I was that actually my problem wasn't just women. My problem was everyone. I thought everyone, and I still think everyone could treat each other better, can you know what I mean? So on and so forth. But at the same time, like you said, as you get older, you kind of start to realize that, like, instead of getting mad about it, just accept it.
Plus, and I'll jump back to Harley on this. You get to a point where you realize, uh, I'm a bad guy, but I'm not a bad person,
Right?
and I'm not angry like I once was. My life has changed a lot since I first really publicly went out and started ranting and talking about stuff. So I'm not anywhere near angry enough to be able to keep that persona. I'd much rather dunk on things here and there. You know, if I'm gonna say anything funny, I'll do it in a quick little comic, which gets me a lot more attention and a lot more solid followers. Because the other way too, I learned people will kind of abandon you and forget who you are and move on.
Which is funny because, like, most of, like, you have the core people who've always been, like, Mr. Marvel for life. Like, I think, like, for instance, like, a Tank still has Mr. Marvel, didn't do
Yeah,
nothing.
there's some people. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna call for let's move on. Let's retire it. One thing that I hate about both Marvel and DC is they did not properly pass the mantle when they should have on characters. So
Hmm.
therefore, when you do anything to these characters, it is fucking sacrilegious.
Yep.
And that is their biggest mistake. Because you can
That's
never,
no
if they would
lie.
have kept it fresh the whole time. And I mean, people will always bring up, yeah, but they've tried here and there. You know what? I mean, then they should have tried better. And that's it. They should have tried better.
Yep. That doesn't look right, but I'll fix it later.
You know?
But
And that's my 2 cents on all that. I'm
but
probably getting ready to move. I mean, even I would say everybody should watch out for, keep an eye on my channel on YouTube. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be talking about it in an actual video that I've been working on. No bullshit, for months. I've been working on this video for months now, and it's pretty much almost ready to be released, and it's probably going to be released soon because I got the time to actually finish the final dialogues for it.
oh no, dude. I You're not the only one that's trying to use Corona Chan to get things done.
Yeah, I mean, you got to use some things as a positive. My commissions will be opening back up pretty soon, and I'll probably even do like Corona Chan price slash.
Nice. Okay. So count me down for like the first commission.
You know, I'll be putting it out soon. That way, I can, see if we can stimulate some stuff going.
Oh, dude, the funny thing is I'm like, a Mr. Marvel profile pic. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, honestly, I think you'd be cooler if you had a Beta Quinn profile pic.
A Beta Quinn.
A Beta Quinn.
So how would that work?
I mean, just you move on. That's what I tell her. I mean, at this point, that's why I said I'm getting ready to let everybody know it's okay to move on. Yeah, I mean, that way I can actually, fully continue on without having, I mean, anything else coming. I've officially bought it from that persona. It's mine, and it's time to, make everything about Troy Vader.
Troy Vader, Extreme.
Vader Quinn. Because everybody knows on the internet I'm not actually a middle-aged bald guy. I'm really like a hot chick with pink tails.
Dude, you know what? According to hey, it's like this. That's how you identify. Who am I to tell you no?
I mean, it's not even it plays more to the fact that I usually just play female characters in video games. So like, if you ever end up playing like a multiplayer game with me online, I am going to be a girl. Not because I have any identity things. It's just because I've always just picked. I don't know. It's more fun. I don't know. I'd rather have a girl.
This is how I explain it. If it's like a third-person game and I have the choice between staring at a dude's ass and a chick's ass for the duration of me playing the game, you already know. Unless it's like a Saints Row where I'm going to be having a whole lot of like where I tend to give my characters backstories and things like that, and have a plan of what's going on and why I'm doing things. Most of the time I'll pick the female just because I'd rather stare at a cute ass on a female than an ass that's like, okay, dude, I'm like, what okay, I get it, you do like 50,000 squats a day, why am I say, I knew I should have stuck with the female character. Not a choice,
which is ironic because Saints Row is probably one of the only games that I made a male character, and that's just because the character editor was so dope. I was able to make the boss look just like me.
Nice. So you're talking 1, 2, or 3?
Just like me. So it was like, yeah, no, there's no way I'm not playing as me. So there are exceptions to that. I always play as a female, but I usually also will always make a guy character eventually, just because I want to see the armor.
Yeah.
And like the clothing and stuff, and that's also pretty cool because at the end of the day, I still like the big muscle guy model. Always so fucking cool. Before I learned how to draw women as good as I do, I learned how to draw men.
That's kind of the natural progression, if you will. Like, the most of the characters you like are men, so you try to draw them. Me, I don't even bother to try them because I disrespect them too much.
Right. So as a kid, and you watch, as a kid, 90s, you watching the X-Men cartoon every Saturday. You're like, dude, I want to fucking draw Cyclops, bro. He's fucking swole in this.
Cyclops being like,
I'm trying to draw Gambit, bro. Let's go, dude. Look at fucking Wolverine. And, and then you're like, oh, shit, look at Rogue. Let me make a sock stick.
Dude. Dude. No, what's funny is it's kind of one of those situations where the female form is actually harder to draw.
Because it's got all sorts of curves. You want to know another thing? The female face is very difficult to draw because you have to be able to emote her with less lines on the face than you do with a male. Because the more lines you put on a female face, illustrated-wise, the older she tends to look. So you can't put all these lines in a female's face to make her look as sharp as you do a man. So you have to focus more on like her lips, her eyes. Eyes are really important when you're drawing like female comic book characters. Um, Posturing of the body, how she's using her hands. You want to make her like strong, tough, capable looking, but keep her beautiful because she's supposed to be a super woman.
Yes.
Like this is a goddess amongst women. You know, I used to always put it to people like this. Like when you look at someone like when you look at a character like Wonder Woman, you know, if you're gonna take it outside, you know, if you're gonna be in that funny realm of we're all passing a joint and doing the what if game, you know, I'll turn around and challenge. I bet you Wonder Woman's a better mother than the average woman. I bet you Wonder Woman can fucking take care of 6 kids and like without ever flinching
Well,
because she's that much better than the average woman.
well, yeah, she's
You know what I mean?
like, think about it. She is, if I remember right, in the comics now, a literal god. And I mean, come on. She's
Right.
also at the same time learned that she has to be patient in man's world because she can't just be the Amazonian she wants to be. She has to accept that outside of the mascara, things are a bit different.
Like even once look at Superman. You're talking about a fucking alien god, and he wakes up at like 6, like, oh shit, I'm late for work.
Mm, and
Like, oh fuck, let me grab a cup of coffee and fly over there.
right, literally, just grabs the pot, chugs the coffee, puts
And
it
that's one
back.
thing I always laughed at. I was like, yo, Superman like goes to work every day, dude.
Dude,
Like he attends office parties and he's like
well, like,
you know, things that you don't see in the comic that's like assume, you know what I mean? Like you have to assume there's a day that goes by that nothing wrong happened and he's like bored at work, like, fuck, it's Brenda's birthday. I don't want to fucking sit for cake. Fucking hate this shit. Why can't I hear a crime happening right now, bro?
right. But that's what made him, like, makes Clark Kent, Superman, work when he's done right. Do you understand? You know, I don't want to really be doing this. Can I just, up and away. I got a thing to do.
Yeah,
What do you got to do, Kent? Anything but this.
right.
That was kind of specific. Yeah, I know. Trying to get a Gabe to work on my second screen. It's just like, nah, bro, I'm good. I'm good. You can kiss my
Oh,
ass.
but I will say, my friend, I think it's time for me to get off. Um, I'm a tired Troy.
Not a problem. Then we'll go ahead and call the stream. All right. Well, tell the nice people out there on the interwebs where they can find you there, Troy.
You can find me on Twitter, Troy Vitering,
Nice.
and go ahead and find me there. That's where I want to be found right now, Troy Vitering. Actually, you can find me on Instagram too, Troy Vader. Yeah, Troy Vitering. Yeah. So if you like tattoos and stuff, you can go look over there. If you like funny commentary and art, you can go see me on Twitter. Both of them, Troy Vitering.
Word. All right. And as always, you folks can find me on Twitter at Brainiac420. You can find me on Minds, Gab, TikTok, and Instagram at Bob Jones Comic Wars. And with that, we shall catch you folks later.